This installation of books and cue cards is a game. Guests are invited via the covers of the two books to do a reading out loud. One book prompts the viewer with a set of directions in English, and the other in Spanish, with the promise that if a guest chooses to read the Spanish tongue twister or trabalenguas out loud, they can then tear out and keep a page from the other book. This trabalenguas is used to teach the speaker how to create the trilled R in Spanish. The more often one repeats the trabalenguas, the stronger the trilled R will become, as your tongue slowly adjusts to the correct placement in the mouth. Yet, guests have a choice. When they open one of the books, they will find the trabalenguas in the other language and must decide whether to read it out loud. Over time, the choices audiences make will be displayed in what pages remain of the two books, themselves sisters. Both are created from a single recycled car repair manual, a reminder that the history of language cannot be divorced from the physical material of the world, nor the mechanical ways we try to train our mouths to accommodate different linguistic paradigms. This piece is a demonstration of the way language lives and breathes between us all, its innate performativity, the privileges that surround us and grant some of us accessibility to certain ways of speaking and understanding, and the way its repeated use or disuse shapes our histories.
Sometime in the mid-1990s, I acquired a 19th century ledger with handwritten medical notes. In these notes were wonderful detailed explanations of the human body with recipes for medical cures. I thought at the time I could do something with this book. In June 2014, my brother called me to let me know he had colon cancer. I wanted to come down immediately. He said, "No, I've got friends. I'll call you." We'd kept our own company for the better part of 20 years. He hadn't seen my daughter grow up, and we really didn't talk after our parents died. In August, when I saw him, I was looking for a 300-pound obese man, and here was a frail 180-pound brother. We had a year to reconcile, and during that process, I realized the purpose for the ledger. I told him after he passed, I would make something of our lives together. We should turn the pages early on. The verso is a magnified image to the location of his cancer that fades further into the book. Brother's Keeper is a layered personal information from his birth book written in our mother's hands, copious medical notations from 3 pounds of medical documents and family photographs. In 1990, I created a series of 19th century medical illustrations that found their home in this project. Interspersed throughout are images of scouting. Scouting was an important part of our lives. Weekend camping, hiking for days on the Appalachian Trail. We were both Eagle Scouts. And once we got into our 20s, we went our own ways. I was the artist. He was in the Navy. He worked blue-collar jobs. We were brothers with little in common except the past. The last pages are painted white and contain his fragmented skeleton. Making this book and the accompanying prints wasn't a fun project, and yet absolutely fascinating. I'd had about 3 hours of sleep after his passing when his housemate called to say that Greg's toilet was gushing. And yes, the water was everywhere in the apartment, the bedroom, the hallway, the living room. I saw it as Greg's last laugh.
Personal is an intimate dive into the world of queer personal ads. This flag book opens to display 24 personal ads sourced from various gay, lesbian, and transgender publications, ranging from the early 70s to mid-90s. Similar to the layouts of its source material, the ads in Personal are stacked in narrow rows and columns and printed monochromatically on a risograph, a close cousin of the mimeograph used by many of the magazines. The dimensionality provided by the flag book structure encourages the reader to shift and fold the book to discover each ad. Personal was curated to showcase the broad variety of purposes that personal ads served for queer communities. There is no true organization to the ads. Pleas for romantic partners and messages to dear friends are intermixed with those looking for quick hookups or players for a softball team. However, in every case, there is a sense that the writer was searching for a connection in a society that depended on their isolation. This search for connection is something that transcends the barriers of any decade or sub-community, proving the relevance of these ads today. Personal uses archived material as a bridge to our queer elders, allowing us to see ourselves in their humor, love, desires, and perseverance.
If you need anything, please let me know, is a phrase typically extended to people experiencing trauma. The irony being that after enduring a sudden traumatic event, we are often unable to pinpoint our specific needs. After an unexpected event left me feeling disconnected, I found myself lost in a sense of yearning, but with no clear idea of what could help. Like many people, I have a habit of saving random objects just in case I might need them someday. My goal was to create a third aid kit, capable of holding the memories and essence of these items that make them feel so sentimental and irreplaceable. Something that could be used to help navigate those moments in life that have a distinct before and after, to soothe the areas that physical and mental remedies cannot reach. The compartmented box is inspired by antique survival kits, with industrial-looking snaps holding the trays together. The selected items include bone and shell beads from my great-auntie's necklace, remnants from past projects such as feathers and handmade crystals, scraps of cloth from my grandmother's sewing kit, a wasp nest abandoned after a bad storm. The 2 trays swivel outward to reveal a discrete instruction booklet containing a diagram, descriptions, and origins for each item. The book and all of the objects are labeled with the same repeated phrase, gold foil stamped onto washi, if you need anything.
Many people taking a sick break is more like looking for a space to be away. They think about the things they trouble, love, or miss. When the time is up, they put the sick down, twist it, and kill it. The leftover cigarette butts look like a dead dream or dead body, and contains a story and a physical evidence of the identity. It is an internal conversation within the self, and the sick buzz becomes a punctuation, a period. Cigarettes is a series of conceptual books made of handmade paper of cigarettes with the letters stamped sick buzz as pages. Growing up as a boy, I often been asked to be the man that society expects me to be. Be strong, be tough. The real man does not cry. As a man, the emotions are often hidden inside and shared with the self. The text of Daydreamer shows the internal battle between the ideal and the reality. An empty sick box that is stitched with golden threads without sick butts. Behind the cover, there is no pages. The pages are the sicks that are made into the box. The pages stays in the past, and what has left is what exists. It is the reality, it is the present. Outside of the cover, it is what we show. Behind the cover, it is what we hide. I'm a romanticist. Ideal motivates me to continue, to move on.